Have you ever looked at someone in your life and thought, how did I end up here again? Another person who lies. Another person who takes more than they give. Another person who hurts you in a way that feels strangely familiar. You thought you'd healed. You thought you'd learned. And yet somehow the same kind of pain keeps coming back. But with a different face, a different name. Carl Jung had a phrase for this. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. We're not just repeating bad luck. We're repeating patterns. And those patterns live deep inside our unconscious mind, buried in childhood wounds, unresolved emotions, and unspoken needs. They are alive in our shadow, the part of us we refuse to see. And until we face it, we'll keep attracting the same kind of people. Not because we want pain, but because we recognize it. Because it feels like home. In this video, we're going to explore why we're drawn to the same harmful relationships over and over again, and how Jung's work can help us break the cycle. Because you don't have to stay stuck in the story your shadow keeps telling. Carl Jung didn't believe in coincidences when it came to our relationships. He believed in patterns, deep psychological patterns that live inside the unconscious. When you find yourself drawn to someone harmful, it's not because you're broken. It's because your unconscious recognizes something familiar, something unfinished. That's the shadow calling for your attention, not to punish you, but to wake you up. Most of what we call attraction is actually recognition. We're drawn to what feels emotionally familiar. And if your emotional blueprint was shaped by chaos, neglect, manipulation, or inconsistency, then that's what you'll subconsciously search for, even while your conscious mind begs for peace. It's not self-sabotage. It's unhealed memory trying to find resolution. A part of you that still believes, if I can just get this kind of person to love me, maybe I'll finally be enough. You don't choose a harmful person out of desire. You choose them out of repetition. You're reenacting something, a wound, pattern, a dynamic, the way your father made you feel invisible, the way your mother made you earn love, the way safety was always conditional. The pain that shaped your nervous system is still echoing. And when someone matches that frequency, your body says, this feels like home, even if home was painful. That's the trap. Not that we want pain, but that pain feels familiar, and familiarity feels safe. Jung believed that until we confront our shadow, we don't really choose. We repeat. And that's why awareness is the beginning of freedom. Because the moment you recognize the pattern, when you stop blaming fate and start listening to yourself, you're no longer trapped inside the story. You start to write a new one. Carl Jung believed that one of the most powerful forces in human relationships is projection, the unconscious act of placing parts of ourselves onto others. When you meet someone and feel an instant, overwhelming attraction, when they feel magnetic, familiar, even magical, you're often not seeing them as they are. You're seeing parts of yourself that you haven't integrated. We project our light. We project our shadow. We project our unhealed wounds. And in doing so, we turn ordinary people into symbols, into fantasies, into the one. That's why toxic relationships often feel so intense in the beginning. It's not love. It's recognition. You're not falling for the person. You're falling into a story your unconscious already knows. One that feels unfinished. One that your inner child still hopes to rewrite. This is how harmful people slip through our boundaries. We don't see them, we see our own projection. We see the parent we never pleased, the love we never had, the version of ourselves we still hope to fix through someone else. And when they respond to that projection, we believe it's real. And they feel it too, because projection works both ways. Your wound meets their wound. Your fantasy meets their mask. And suddenly, you're both playing roles in a play neither of you consciously chose, but both rehearsed for your entire lives. Jung wrote, "We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. The people we attract are mirrors. Some reflect our beauty, others our pain, and some reflect the things we've hidden so deeply we no longer recognize them. And the most dangerous mirrors are the ones we romanticize." Projection is not just about desire, it's also about blindness. It distorts how we see others and how we see ourselves. The more emotionally charged someone makes you feel, the more likely your shadow is involved. Intensity without clarity is a warning sign, and unless you become aware of it, you'll stay stuck in that trance. You'll call it love, but really, it's a longing to heal what still lives in the dark. Carl Jung believed that what we don't heal, we repeat, not out of weakness, but because the psyche is always trying to resolve unfinished pain. Until it's witnessed, felt, and transformed, it will recreate itself. That's the heart of trauma bonds. You're not just staying with someone who hurts you, you're bonded to them through something deeper. A silent hope that this time the pain will finally become love. And that hope is rooted in the past. Many of us grew up in homes where love came with conditions, where warmth was inconsistent, where affection was earned or withdrawn, where safety was always slightly out of reach. So our nervous system learned to confuse unpredictability with passion, distance with desire, pain with connection. Jung explained that the unconscious will keep creating experiences that match our inner world, not to punish us, but to make the invisible visible. So we find ourselves pulled toward people who make us feel the same way we did as children. Not because we want to suffer, but because we want to win. We want to finally earn the love we were denied, to rewrite the ending. But that ending never comes, because you're not in the past. And no relationship can heal a wound you haven't faced on your own. Trauma bonds keep you stuck in repetition. You think you're choosing freely, but you're responding to a script your inner child memorized long ago. And here's the truth. The longer you ignore that pattern, the stronger it becomes. The more you justify, minimize, explain, forgive, the more your psyche internalizes the belief. This is what I deserve. But it's not what you deserve. It's what you're used to. Jung didn't tell us to fight these patterns. He told us to make them conscious, to bring light into the places we've locked away. Because until you name it, you can't change it. And healing doesn't begin with others treating you better. It begins with you no longer betraying yourself. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. Carl Jung didn't believe in quick fixes or surface-level change. He believed that transformation starts when we become radically honest about what lives inside of us, especially the parts we'd rather avoid. You don't heal by avoiding relationships. You heal by understanding the part of you that keeps choosing the same kind. You don't break the cycle by blaming others. You break it by asking, what in me still needs to be seen? The people you attract are not the problem. They're the symptom, the signal, the mirror. When you start to observe your patterns without shame, without defense, something powerful happens. You begin to reclaim choice. You start to see the red flags before they feel romantic. You begin to say no to what once felt like love, and yes to what actually is. Jung taught that we don't attract what we deserve, we attract what we are not yet conscious of. And the more conscious you become, the more aligned your relationships become. Because once you see the pattern, you can stop performing it. You don't have to repeat what hurt you. You just have to see it and choose differently. You are not broken. You've just been reenacting pain you didn't know was still inside you. But now you do. Carl Jung showed us that the path to freedom isn't about avoiding the shadow. It's about meeting it with honesty, with courage, with love. If you've ever wondered why you keep attracting the same kind of people, this is your moment to stop asking what's wrong with me and start asking what's still unhealed. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. Subscribe if you're ready to keep walking the path of awareness, with eyes open and heart whole.